fantastic achievement. Everyone said it, but you can't downplay it. And congratulations to you and the entire team. You talked about no longer do the players have to compete with shackles, but can you elaborate a little bit more? What does it really mean to the club, what you've just announced?
Well, I think it's a number of things. I think one is about having the resources to compete in an ultra-competitive environment. And over the last decade, we've worked very hard, both the current board and previous boards and previous administrations, to ensure that the club and the players have the facilities and have the resources to be competitive on the field. And that was sort of the goal from day one, to be able to pay down the debt, which was a bit of a noose, but also make sure that we could invest in having the on-field talent and the off-field resources to allow that talent to shine on the park. So that's been particularly important that we've been able to do that along the way. So it's great to have, I should also mention, great to have our coaching staff here. David Noble, who's done a wonderful job in his first year, and terrific to see Brad Scott back here. And Brad was also a big part of that journey as well. So great to have you here, Brad, and look forward to you being very favourable in the match review committees and various other football decisions that Brad will be about as grey as I am by the time he gets through his first couple of years. But great to see you back here as well, Brad.
And Ben, much has been made about the commitment to stay in North Melbourne, which is where you derive, obviously, your name from. How much sweeter is the victory in terms of being able to share it with the local community?
Well, I think football is all about communities, and football clubs started as being, AFL clubs or VFL clubs as they were at the time, started because they were the epicentre of their local community. And I think North Melbourne has, kept that spirit burning over, almost 150 years. So we're very passionate about being a part of the community and being a place that the community can come and get together. So whether that now spreads across Melbourne or spreads across Victoria or spreads across the nation, it's still a destination where people who are passionate about the club can come together. And this area is going to be thriving over the next 10 to 20 years, and I think there's something like 20 to 30,000 people who will be living and working in our backyard here. So you'll see a huge transformation, and that's a big opportunity for the club into the future.
JB, let's take your mind back. I think it was December the 7th, 2007, around that the rejection of the Gold Coast relocation, and there was a lot of passion in the room that night. Can you take us back to your recollection of that and the moments that led to it?
Tiff, I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone 2007. But firstly, I think it's amazing to see so many incredible North Melbourne people gathered together. We don't do it enough, and it's fantastic. Congratulations to Ben and the current staff for getting us to a historic place. I mean, Pete, back in 2007, if we thought we'd wipe $8.5 to $9 million worth of debt out in this time, I think neither of us would have believed that. So, and it's such a tribute to everyone that works here, but also the members. I mean, every member, and we're all members. I think for about 10 years, Buck had $20 extra on your membership to wipe the debt off, and so every member attached to North Melbourne basically has helped us get to this point. So all of that's fantastic. And I know we were talking about the coaches. I think I saw Danny Laidley before, and special sort of mention to her, because in 2007, when we were really fighting City Hall pretty hard, what we were able to be is incredibly relevant on field. We were in a prelim final in 2007, finals in 2008, with the worst funded footy department in the game by half again, and that is a great tribute to Danny and the staff then, and then Brad when he took over. So, lots of people were really important. But no, it was a big task, and this man next to me, we wouldn't be, and none of this would be here without Pete, so we never forget that. But back then it seemed, this day seemed a long way away.
Well, Peter, for you as a passionate supporter, great supporter of this club in so many ways, some of which obviously has already been said this morning, but what goes through your mind at those times when it was, the relocation was rejected, knowing the massive task in front of the club?
Tiffany, I think first of all I see myself here as being one of the members and supporters that stood behind James and Ben, and it was a lot of us. There wasn't just a person, and Peter and Trevor and thousands of members who were putting money in every year to reduce the debt. Always amazed me how many members supported that. But I think as a member, what I really want to say is that it was clear to James and Ron Joseph, myself and others, that although it looked financially attractive, moving to the Gold Coast was the end of the Shinboners. And the decision those guys made was we'd rather try and fail to keep that than give up. And I think on behalf of all the members, if I can be so bold as to represent them, I really just want to thank the people who did all the work. James, Ben, Eugene and Carl, and now currently Ben, to all the coaches that were here. I mean, those people have achieved an enormous amount. When we sat round at that time, this club was not only under financial stress, it had no facilities. It had lost its contact with the community because it didn't have the resources to work it. And now, no debt, wonderful board and management, and in my view, but it's biased, the best community connection of any AFL club and probably any sporting club in Australia, thanks to Cam and his team. But the other thing that I feel, and I think most of our members do, the club's very approachable. The people are enjoyable. And as far as I'm concerned, I've had so much more back than I've ever put in that I feel a bit of a cheat being up here, Tiffany. Thank you.
Well, I know everyone else doesn't think that, but thank you, Peter. And James, I'll give the last final word to you. How do you see the future of the club now?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. It's been a while since I've been here, to be honest, but every time I walk in, you just get this sort of hair standing up on the back of your neck. My brother played here with Buck and Croc and all that. I remember all of those, the past version of Arden Street, and I love that. That had its own special brilliance about it, and now what's happened here is just a tribute. I know Huge is going to be up here shortly, but this place was built really by Eugene. He project managed this whole place, and I remember Boomer Harvey walking through the new facility and he just had tears rolling down his face. He couldn't believe what had been created out of what the place was. Jack Siebel standing over there, he was a baby. I remember the draft, and I remember him coming in and broke his leg about 7 times in his first year and hardly played, and grumpy, walking around on crutches. He's now a wonderful captain and a great leader of our club. And so to watch young people come through and become what Jack is now, and it's a beautiful place, North Melbourne. It's a great club. It's a great, as you say, community. And when we go out and play, and when we come rattling home and win, and the songs played and the boys are all in the rooms, for all of us that are just supporters, that is all we need. So I love it, and I just congratulate these current hard-working staff and board who have got us to this magnificent point where we don't owe anyone any money, because I can see Huge over there. We used to look at the interest every month on $8.5 million. It was killing us. So now you don't have to worry about that, Ben. So that's good. That's one thing off your table.
Well, I know that everyone in here and obviously beyond really appreciates, beyond words, the contribution that the three of you have made to see North Melbourne Kangaroos be where they are today. So thank you, all three of you.